Hello everyone, this is Dan Gramza and welcome to dangramza.com Market Studies for Monday, August 25th. Now on Friday, we had some news that came out from the Fed as we talked about in the advanced video that the market likes. But before we get to that, if you haven't looked at these videos before, you're looking at a candle format, a daily chart. The concept is a swing trade, so you're trying to gather a bit of a move, the momentum in these moves. That's the principle behind it. They can last from one day to 2 weeks if it's a very strong trend. Now, and I use what I call behavioral Japanese candles. That's what I've created to analyze these charts. Now, let's look at what's going on here. Friday, the market liked that idea, bouncing on the lows, follow through to the upside, very close to technically being in an uptrend. Not quite there yet, but we'll see what happens on Monday. Now, a solid green line, that's a buy level. Red line, that's a sell level. Now, on Friday, all this kind of came together. You'll see some charts where it's a dashed line, and it just means that something had happened earlier in the week. Now, the dollar difference from this sell level down to that buy level, just to give you a reference of magnitude of change, is $2,250 a contract. And what do we look for? Follow through, but not a dramatic move. In the NASDAQ market, the sell to buy level there is $11,220 a contract. Follow through, yes, to the upside. And look at the Dow. Technically, the market's in an uptrend, and we do look for follow through. The Russell, also a market that technically is in an uptrend. It's met that criteria. The dollar difference in here is $450 a contract. Now, what about the currencies? Did they get stronger, weaker? Well, this is the euro dollar. And what you're looking at when you see these markets moving up to the right, it means that currency is getting stronger. It's getting more expensive. And the US dollar is getting weaker. And that's what we're seeing here in the euro. But it's in an area of that I call consistency of behavior. So look for an inside to maybe just slightly higher movement on Monday. Dollar difference at sell to buy level is $187.50, and this difference down here is $125 a contract. You know, when we look at the Swissy, we have dollar difference sell to buy level here is $325 a contract. And from this buy level to that sell level, it's $400 a contract. Again, just to give you a feel for that, take a look at what's happening with Mr. Yen. And here we see a market, that difference between those dashed lines, $125 a contract. And from that sell to buy level, $312.50. And again, I look for an inside to only slightly higher movement. I'm not looking for a dramatic move to the upside on Monday. The market's absorbed what's happened so far. Aussie dollar difference here, sell to buy level, $500 a contract. Follow through as expected. Over here in the British pound, $187.50. Dollar difference here is $62.50. Follow through, yes. Technically not quite an uptrend. Next 2 days, very important for that market. Well, when it comes to the Canadian dollar, $360 is the dollar difference from this sell to that buy level. And up here in the two dash lines you see, that's $125. Buyers are here. Can they follow through? That's true also in Bitcoin. Dollar difference from that sell to that buy level is $43,125 a contract. Follow through, yes. Important what happens here in the next 3 days. Over in the 10-year notes, yields came down, which means prices went up, and that's what we're seeing here. Dollar difference sell to buy level $343.75. Over in the bond market, that's 30-year bonds, sell to buy level there is $1,031.25. Follow through again is expected to the upside. In the gold market, it also firmed up. Clean close on Friday. Dollar difference dashed line to that green line is $1,700 a contract. Now silver also perked up. That market's very close to technically being in an uptrend. If we look at what's happening here, dollar difference, sell to buy level, $3,850 a contract. Now copper. I gotta tell you, I'm not super bullish on this market. I'm skeptical of it. I look for a sideways move. Dollar difference sell to buy level, $500 a contract. If we look at what's going on here in crude oil, dollar difference sell to buy level in that market is $220 a contract. And I do look for follow through, but I'm very skeptical of it being able to be sustainable. So be cautious on the long side. And over here in nat gas, look for a rest day on Monday. Downward pressure would be expected, but not a big day down. Dollar difference in the dash lines, $300 a contract. Well, when we look at what's happening here in soybeans, a market that's firming up, slowing down, I'm skeptical of the fundamentals in that market, so be cautious on the long side. In corn, I feel the same way. The dollar difference here is $150 a contract. Follow through is expected. Wheat, look for a sideways move in that market. We got a lot of wheat out there. Well, those are my thoughts for today. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Look forward to being with you again next week. In the meantime, take care.